Ever open the TV and see the news being like, because that's what it feels like for the past couple of months. The American government is in shambles, the Philippine people are split between bring him home, confidential funds, and I told you so, and Elon Musk is trying to prove that they're an epic gamer while his company is sinking to the ground. When small gestures come a long way. To say the least, it's a depressing time to live in, especially now because it's campaign period in the Philippines. I can't get out of my house without hearing those jingles that drive around town.
Bruno, itbuto sakali mahabala.
And it's not just one, it'll be a whole parade of jingles overlapping each other.
Maria Clarissa, buto sa igbutos da. Clarissa.
Make it stop! If you're not from the Philippines, this might be weird for you, but here in my country, we do things differently around here. Where the US may have Kamala is a huge bomb. She will come to your party and ruin it. This is why you should not vote for her. I am Donald Bump and I approve this message. Here in the Philippines, it's more like how they advertise you a soda or any product of some sort. They put a jingle on, they shimmy a little bit, and smile at the end with their ballot number and the word vote. Obviously, there are variations to this, but that's the secret formula that these senators found. And the worst thing is that it works! In 2019, an old action star wanted to be re-elected as a senator, but years prior, he got into a lot of controversy with a multi-billion peso scam, which was named the pork barrel scam. I remember this news being everywhere when I was a wee little child. Not so fun fact, the current president was also mentioned in a controversy, having allegedly gotten this much funds. Allegedly. He was ultimately acquitted for the plunder cases he was facing, but the controversy stayed with his name. I mean, if you get accused of allegedly pocketing billions of pesos, people will naturally look at you weirdly. Any other politician would look at this controversy and think their chances of a senatorial seat was gonna be impossible. But he looked at himself in the mirror and said, I'm an action star. Fuck it, we ball. Then he danced in front of everybody and won! There was no this is what I've done during my term, no this is what I'll pass if I become a senator once again. He just danced in front of the camera and won. Haha, he danced funny. I bet he'll make a good lawmaker. Phew, thank God that was a one-time occurrence. Make it stop! At least this has one of the things I suggested earlier, but still. Other senatorial candidates though may have a more tame advert. By more tame, I mean allegedly spending 1 billion pesos for campaign ads. And there are 2 of them! Imagine spending 1 billion pesos just to be barely outside of top 12. What the fuck? Editor's note, there's 8 of them now, and one of them used up 3.5 billion pesos. That's so much money. Oh my god. They're also accused of allegedly vote buying, which was junk, and this raises a huge question mark on them, cause what the fuck? So, you may have noticed many in the list has an association of media celebrity / political dynasty, and to those unaware, a political dynasty is where a family member of past politicians are elected to a seat. The biggest example of this is the current and former presidents. What about the first one? What first one? Unfortunately, this is very common, especially in local governments. And when it's campaign period, sometimes you would see a Bruno and another slightly different looking Bruno side by side with the words, ibalik natin in the middle. And have the same poster on a wall 12 times. Here's a wall of 12 pairs of Brunos in case you missed the first 11. I swear to dog, every politician is doing this. You know those games where they would use the same texture over and over again to save resources? Walking around outside gives off the same feeling. Clearly, I have some opinions on some of the candidates. Being an open hater of a certain son of God, not you.
I love children.
Okay, I'll address the Dumbo over there. The Senate seats are mostly composed of celebrities. This has been the case for decades now. Rewinding back, remember this guy? How he was a former action star? Well, he's not the only one. The anti-woke crowd in America might fear DEI, but here in the Philippines, we have diversity, alright? Action stars, boxers, game show hosts, singers, comedian, drummer, jacket dispenser. It's often touted as a celebrity's retirement home, much like how streamers past their prime turn into the most hateful people on the planet. Viewer count is low. A must hate on minorities. But in this case, not getting as much acting gigs must run for office. And they win because of their sheer recognizability. Haha, he did a good job shooting those bad people in the movies. I bet he'll make a good lawmaker. I have been joking around this whole video and making jokes, but in all seriousness, please take your votes seriously. Vote for the people who you think will genuinely help your community, the people who has a platform and a plan of action, and how they'll achieve those plans. It's so easy to think that your single vote won't be able to sway the majority. At least you'd follow through with what you believe in. This took a month of constant rewriting to make sure this video about politics is less political. Even though it still is, the past versions of the script is way too ranty for my likes, and I just wanted it to have like the more lighthearted humor that it has. And yeah, anyways, what do you think about this new video style? I think it's a cool and unique way to differentiate myself from other channels, and if you agree, I appreciate if you can just boop the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. I have 1,000 sub goal before the end of the year, and if I'm able to, I would be very grateful. Anyways, thanks for watching. That's all for today. I'm gone. Bye.